And now, your pro tip from Moldy Joe. Always jump in front of your teammates to establish good camaraderie for the rest of the game. Hey, what's going on, guys? It's me, Moldy Joe, here bringing you some Medal of Honor Warfighter. And to be honest, about 75% of me was actually telling the truth about jumping in front of your teammates to establish good camaraderie. You have no idea. If you get your teammates to feel like they want to have fun with you, like you're a fun guy to hang out with, just doing goofy stuff with, chances are you'll probably do better in the game, but most importantly, you'll have more fun in the game. That's a little tip from me to you. Alright, Medal of Honor Warfighter, let's talk about this. This has been an interesting beta. This game has been an interesting game. This, you probably see, it's going to be a long video, guys, but trust me, every single second is worth the wait. Okay, there was a few stupid deaths here and there, but I don't give a crap about this. This is an experience. This is a journey, alright? This was just one hell of a game, I gotta say. It was one of the most intense matches of my first-person shooter career. Let's put it that way. Alright? That's saying something for this game, that it can do that to me. Make me feel so pumped up. Man, I'm like a junkie. I love getting amped up in these competitive shooters. Doesn't matter, Call of Duty, Battlefield, Halo, whatever. If you can put me in that mood, that I'm like in the zone, and I'm freaking terrified of what's around every corner, but at the same time I can't wait to see what's there. You know, just adrenaline pumping through my veins, my hands just clutching the controller, and I'm just, you know, stuff like that. Honestly, it's pretty ridiculous. So I'm gonna have to actually start considering purchasing Medal of Honor Warfighter. I didn't think it would be that good just from the trailers, and I really didn't like the last Medal of Honor. It was a total flop in my opinion. And oh, right here, I should have just thrown a grenade in that room. Silly, silly mistake. But that's what betas are for. Go ahead, do your stupid stuff, make your mistakes. Who cares? It's a beta. Try the stupid stuff. Try and break the game. That's actually what the developers want you to do, is they want you to try and break their game so that they can fix it before it actually comes out. So, let's talk a little bit Medal of Honor Warfighter, shall we? There's some things I like about this game, some things I don't. Some things I don't like about the game. The menus are fucking confusing, alright? Like, for me to set up my class, honestly, I don't think I could set up my class in between a pre-game lobby. If I have to back out of the game and like actually sit and read and concentrate on what I'm doing to set up my class how I want, you're doing it wrong. This game should really be a bit more streamlined with its menus, its class selections, all that gunk. Just cut that out of there, save a lot of people a lot of time and a lot of hassle. Because, like, say I unlock a new gun and I want to try it out. What am I going to have to do? I'm going to have, like, a 30-second break in between a match. What am I going to do? I'm going to have to back out of that lobby in order to set up my new class, because you got to go through all these menus. There's so many attachments, which is good if you're really into, like, you know, nitpicking stuff. But come on, folks, you got to pick a better way to do it. I mean, I'm no video game designer, no video game creationer. Creationer, that's a word. Creationer is a word. I'm not a video game creationer. I'm not a video game creator, but you guys should figure that shit out. Also, one of the selling points of this game, in fact, probably the thing they advertise the most about this game, is how you can pick which country you want to follow. And it's sort of like this whole patriotism thing they're pushing. They're like, guys, you know, boasting, you know, America, Sweden, Poland, you know, Canada, whatever. And that's pretty cool. I like that you're involving your community and getting them more, having some stuff to argue about, pretty much. And that's a very interesting selling point. However, I don't like how it's implemented in the actual game. Because if that's the goal you're trying to accomplish, which is to get players invested in their personal nation, and through this video game, like you want Poland players to play as the Poland Special Forces, you want Swedish players, which there are a lot of them, because, you know, dice games got tons of Swedes playing them. You want Sweden players playing the Swedish Special Forces. That's not really going to happen so much. Ooh, get hatcheted. I get shot in the back, whatever. That's not going to happen so much because your classes, like, your class abilities are tied to certain nationalities. For instance, I'm playing as a Canadian right now. Never been to Canada. Alright, if it was up to me, yeah, I'd be some sort of American. Hold that thought for just a second. I gotta give this guy something. Hatchet to the leg and crack you over the skull. Oh my god. These beat the shit out of freaking Battlefield's knife animations. These are freaking insane. Oh my gosh. Alright, that's like super duper fun factor for me. Because you walk up behind a guy, crack him in the leg with a tomahawk, and then bash him over the skull. Like, this isn't some special forces stuff where you would, like, push him to the ground, stab him in the chest, or, like, slit his throat or something. No, you just beat the shit out of him with a tomahawk, which apparently everyone in the military has all of a sudden. Little fun fact, that was really the only fun part of the last Medal of Honor for me, was tomahawking people. I don't know, just I like the way it just stuck in someone's, like, and you just stick on them and then you get like pull it out and blood everywhere. I lost my train of thought again. So oh, this brings me to another point about something I don't like about Medal of Honor. This game needs spawn protection, big time. Like, the way spawns are set up is so incredibly broken. I have literally spawned in front of like the direct line of sight of enemies before, and the thing is, when you spawn, it takes about 5 seconds for your gun to actually come up out of nowhere. I guess it just materializes, but it takes you about 5 seconds to equip your gun after you've spawned. So if you spawn in front of someone, that is complete bullcrap. You have been gypped out of a death. They've gotten an unfair kill. What if that person just needed one more kill to get an Apache helicopter? Huh? Kinda sucks ass now, doesn't it? So, yeah, you don't want people running around in people's spawns and just shooting them over and over. That's never fun in any scenario, unless you're like a hacker and you like to be a dickhead, but I hate hackers, so screw you guys. One special feature about Medal of Honor I like is that you get to choose how you use your kill streak. There are 2 options for every kill streak you make it to. You can choose an offensive or a defensive kill streak. I really like that because it makes you be more versatile, makes you think on your feet. It's not like in Call of Duty where you've already set up your kill streaks beforehand, so you really don't have to think how you want to use it. You just use it as you use it. And this moment was so fucking intense for me. That bomb seriously was about to explode in probably under a second, it felt like. Literally, I was sitting in front of my TV, I snipped that last wire, and it diffused, and I just said to myself, I said out loud, I said, holy shit, oh my god, and I just, like, ran away, and I was, like, never have I been so, like, amped up about defusing a bomb in any video game. I could give 2 shits about it in Call of Duty, but I don't know, something about just that bomb. Maybe it was the fact that I was so close to that bomb exploding in front of me, but I gotta say, that was freaking intense. See what I'm saying about how this game is pretty intense? Yeah, I'm sure you're seeing it too. Anyways, where was I? What was I saying about? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go ahead and pause this commentary and then listen to myself what I was saying beforehand, because this is a pretty long commentary. I don't know if I'm going to be able to fill out the whole 20 minutes just on my brilliant speaking talent. I'll be right back in a second. Oh yeah, I was talking about kill streaks, wasn't I? Well, yeah, I ended up using the Blackbird beforehand instead of the whatever, like airstrike or something I got. And that played a huge part into me being able to even defuse that bomb, because I was able to clear out the guys that were guarding the bomb, make my way up to the top of the hill, and know that I was clear, all thanks to that little Blackbird. I don't think it's called an actual Blackbird, but there is a voice call out that he calls it Blackbird, so I'm going to call it a Blackbird. And if you guys know me from Call of Duty Black Ops, you know I freaking love the SR-71. thing is a beast. Alright. More Medal of Honor. Let's keep talking. We got a long commentary to do. Keep talking. Some things I like about this. This game is incredibly original. I'll say that. In one of the most unoriginal genres of video games, the first-person shooter, which is really just incredibly unoriginal. The ideas that they come up with, just copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste. But this is really taken some new directions to first-person shooters. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this whole two-man team, this buddy system they got going on, pretty new, pretty unheard of, at least to me. So, I mean, maybe if there's some hipster indie game out there that does that, why don't you tell me about it? But for now, I'm going to go ahead and say that this is kind of a first of its kind, and it really, really, really adds a whole new style of gameplay, because you end up becoming best friends with someone you don't know if you're playing by yourself. Hopefully that's what happens. I mean, there's always going to be that one guy that's just going to be sitting in the back of a map sniping, letting his whole team down. But if you and your teammate relatively give a shit about winning, you guys are going to be best of buds for the whole game. And that's what happens to my teammate. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that if you aren't playing in conjunction with your buddy, at least somewhat, you're not going to get a good game. And your team's probably not going to win. So, I'll tell you why, as a matter of fact. For those of you that don't have the beta, I'll actually explain that to you. The thing about your buddy is, him and only him can refill your ammo, and he can instantly heal you to 100 health. And you regenerate health about as slowly as you do in Battlefield 3 normal speed. So, since there are no medics, nothing special, no way to refill your ammo unless someone uses it as their kill streak or whatever. Yeah, also, by the way, that window, throw frags in there. Do that all day. There's always people camping in there. Throw frags there. Just do that, especially with my little predator vision going on. Do that all day, every day. Do it. So, yeah. Definitely, you and your buddy want to stick together all day, every day. And you can also use your buddy to spawn on. And if you don't, you got to go all the way back to your spawn point, which is a bummer. Especially because someone's probably camping the shit out of it. Once again, you guys need to fix that shit before the game releases. DICE is... And now, here's the thing. I trust DICE as a game developer to patch their games and stuff. However, the question as to whether this is truly DICE's game, at least their multiplayer, is still up for grabs. Medal of Honor was not the original, but the one before this, the previous Medal of Honor, was developed by a studio called Danger Close. You know, they were running it, and they hired DICE to do their multiplayer. And I think that was one of the reasons why its multiplayer wasn't very strong, was because, or at least didn't have as much support as Battlefield's multiplayer. There was relatively no support whatsoever for Medal of Honor. At least the gaming community. Hardly any patches. A lot of the stuff people complained about went unchanged. Which was because I think DICE was sort of used like a mercenary sort of game developer in this aspect. They were brought in to make the game. They were paid their money, then they were done with it. So that's a bummer. Oh, I just had a funny thought. I'm playing a beta to a game that if you buy it, you get access to the beta of Battlefield 4. It's like, dude, DICE is such a freaking cool company. They're just throwing betas at you. More companies need to make betas. I was just telling that to a buddy the other day. I'm like, man, why don't companies make betas anymore? I don't know. Hey, you know, if you have a shitty game, you don't want people to know it's shitty until they buy it, right? So I guess that's a good point in having a beta. You can prove to skeptics that your game isn't shitty. And I'll say this, Medal of Honor is not completely shitty. There's some stuff that's bad with it, you know. This game can get pretty campy. But if you, but I'm starting to figure out that there might be ways to go about combating camping, such as what I'm doing with my little predator vision and speedy runaround style. However, I do think there's more of a legitimate reason for holding down lines of sight and whatever in this game. I think that might just be its style, and if you're into a more of a slower paced game, um, kudos to you. I'm trying to hatchet the shit out of this guy, and I just clip him in the foot once, and I have to shoot him because I'm not good at video games, guys. I'm not good at video games, damn it. And, oh, by the way, if you've been noticing the score, we have just been going back and forth all game. It's been really rough. And luckily we end up defending this one. Although I wasn't directly in front of the bomb point all the time, what I did manage to do, if you saw for the past few minutes, I was just harassing the shit out of them. I was just constantly bobbing and weaving outside of their wherever they were holding up, wherever they were coming from. I was cutting them off before they could even get to the bomb site, which was a big help. Speaking of big help, I also get that Blackbird again. Here, I go for that freaking hatchet, man. You gotta get that hatchet. Gotta hatchet some people. Gotta get them. Also, here's why you always gotta throw a window into that grenade. A window into that grenade, you always have to throw a grenade into that window, because that window is just a great place to shoot everybody from. I don't know, it seems like no one knows that they can get shot from there. It's just weird how many people you can kill just by being in that window. Seriously, if you have the beta, just go on that windowsill and get yourself an Apache helicopter. That's pretty much here's your three-step goal, your three-step guide to getting an Apache helicopter. Go to that window, question mark, question mark, question mark, profit. Well, yeah, that's about it. I was about to say something, but I forgot what it was. What's up, Henley? Anyways, yeah, I was about to say that, I was going to explain the game type, because honestly the game type was super confusing. I honestly think they should have had like a little slideshow at the beginning of the beta to explain to you how to play this. It's I don't know, the two teams, one team has to always defend the bomb sites, one team has to always plant the bomb sites, and the bomb sites move around randomly, which can honestly make the game unfair sometimes. For instance, if the attacking team, the first bomb site they have to attack, which is randomly selected. Their randomly selected bomb site happens to be right in front of their spawn, which there are 2 bomb sites right in front of their spawn. If that happens, naturally they're going to rack up a lot of kills because their spawn point has like it's a big old building, a 2-story building, so you can shoot downwards at the oncoming defenders, which is strange. You really don't ever say that, the oncoming defenders. So at the beginning of the game, the defenders would have to rush all the way to the enemy's spawn to defend something. Doesn't make a lot of sense to me. And also, they're going to be racking up a shit ton of kills on you because you're going to have to push into the enemy team so that you can defend. So then they're going to end up getting gunships and crazy stuff. It'll be ridiculous. So already off the bat, you have the possibility of pretty much handing them their first 2 bomb points, and then there's one in the middle, which is pretty fair, honestly. That's a pretty fair bomb site, and then there are 2 in the back that are really hard to defend. I think there should be more of a predetermined way, or at least, who knows, maybe there's another game mode for other people, but this one seems like there's a lot of random chance that goes into whether or not you're going to win or lose. And boy, this last bomb site, we had a tough one. I gave it everything I got, and I can say my teammates give it everything they got. I got a little southern twang there for some reason. They gave it everything they got, but in the end, somehow the enemy team ended up getting a gunship. And gunships, when you call them in at the right time, they can turn the tide of battle, baby. You gotta know when to use that thing. And we ended up losing. I went 42-10. Whoo, that is a good score. But I had a lot of fun. This was a very intense game, as I'm sure you guys were paying attention to it and not just my beautiful voice. I'll see you guys later. This is Moldy Joe signing off.